battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here, and today I'm going to bring you a 1v1 game on the map The Cataract. And spawning in our top left position, we have, spawning as Ukraine, NoobMapMaker, who is very well renowned for his creative maps that he's putting out, and he's overall a guy who is putting out an incredible amount of content, especially in terms of maps and mods. And his opponent for the day is going to be Mr. Zoolys, spawning in as Germany, as our late game allies faction. So this is gonna be an interesting matchup, but I don't think it's gonna be too crazy in the early game. So while that's going on, while they're building up, let me tell you a few things, a few good news actually. So first of all, I've gotten a new microphone, so the sound quality is bound to improve, fortunately, because the onboard mic of my laptop was kind of really atrocious, especially noticeable in the Command & Conquer Combat Comcast, where my audio quality was falling off so hard against that of So Scared's microphone. Second, you may or may not have noticed the new intro that I'm having, and it means that I have been accepted into the elitist ranks of the GameReplays.org community, which is really amazing. I'm now an official commentator for them. I'm allowed to use their intro, and yeah, so that's really cool. And they were really helpful. I only had to bribe my way up there and bribe and sleep my way up there. Yeah, that's part of the game, I guess. So they've been really useful. And third of all, one of the guys on Game Replays especially, Mr. Aggressive Panda, he has helped me set up my page on YouTube by providing me with artworks. He has done a new wallpaper for me, new 5 Aces artworks for me, so thanks, big shout out to him. That's really amazing. I never imagined that would be possible so quickly and so reliably. Yeah. Also, what else? Yeah, I'm gonna start a new video series, which I'm gonna call Checkmate by Cheese. And the first episode is probably gonna be released in 1 or 2 weeks. And it's gonna feature me and So Scared duking it out, 1v1, and I'm going to try to beat him by using the cheesiest of all builds. So I'm not gonna give it away, I'm not gonna spoil too much, because So Scared might watch this video. I don't want him to know what's coming up for him, what I have in store, but I have some really funny episodes planned for this, so this should be amazing. With that said, let's dive right into the game. So the map The Cataract is slightly unbalanced, as you may or may not have noticed, because the top left spawn has an easier access to the expansions. It's also a really high eco map with 5 ore mines at each spawn, plus another 5 here in the middle expansion, and 3 at the island expansion, but the island expansion never really comes into play, I think, at least not from what I've seen so far. And we already see a diversion builds as, ouch, NoobMapMaker's rifle infantry is getting some value. It's been at the right place at the right time, getting 2 bazookas for his trouble. Well, Zoolys is going for some early aggression. He's built an early light tank. Light tanks basically have 3 uses. They can be used for scouting, but a ranger is better at doing that. They can be used for being really annoying by blocking off refineries or war factories, because they're the cheapest and lightest vehicles that also leave husks. So even if they get killed, the husk stays there for another, I think, 30 seconds. Really obnoxious. Amphi likes doing this, as we have seen in the finals of the FFA tournament. And thirdly, they can be used as a diversion for flame turrets. So you can move in your infantry clump while the light tank tanks the flame towers, which is kind of useful. But other than that, their combat stats are atrocious. They don't do damage, and they don't receive much damage either. They do receive a lot of damage, excuse me. Wasn't thinking straight there. So the early aggression has so far not paid off for Zoolys, and has set him behind in the eco race. He's on 5 harvesters. And yeah, See, NoobMapMaker has already gotten his second MCV out. It's gonna take his natural expansion, and it's going for a lot of, yeah, it's going for a lot of bazookas and some flamethrowers mixed in. Okay. All of that can be countered by a bunch of rifles, which Zoolys currently has. Thing is, does he know that? He doesn't have any scouting information of it yet. Both of these players going really passive in the early game, going for an eco-heavy build, and going for a really safe build as well. Yeah, they're just spreading out their units. They don't want to be ambushed from anywhere. You can actually ambush by just getting a naval yard or a sub pen out and getting a transport, doing stuff over there. Oh, NoobMapMaker is gonna get a nice scout off because there's no anti-air as of yet, and he's probably gonna pick up the artillery as well. It's nice, if he decides to move in. You know, just too scared of the anti-air gun. First hind out, and the first AA gun. Those things usually come hand in hand. And AA guns are so mandatory to the allied gameplay. Yeah, now he's getting the scout off, very nice. Still on 5 harvesters. I think NoobMapMaker has more than that. Oh, he can get 3 artilleries if he's good at it. Nope. You should turn around. Yeah. Perfect. That's it. And the rocket soldier to boot. That was so worth, and he gets away. Gets away with it too. He could now go for a suicide. If he now goes for the suicide, this would be the most worth yak. Almost. Wow. Wow, yak value. And that's, by the way, that's why you don't clump your infantry, especially versus Soviets. Because all they have to do is run a single yak in and suicide it into your blob. And it's gonna decimate infantry. Still, NoobMapMaker is playing it defensively. He's playing it out for the long game. He's going for Tesla coils, for a bunch of SAM sites. Which is... the area of denial is too small. It's only like a circle of 6 cells maybe. So they're just not as good as AA guns. But then again, the Soviets don't have, the Allies don't have an equivalent of Tesla coils as well, so they are better suited for fending off air pushes. Lots of infantry, too much infantry for my taste, because we've seen what mobile flags can do to infantry, we know what V2 rockets are capable of, and what even a single yak crash can do. It's going for suicide, I guess. Yeah. Not the best, but trading cost neutral, probably. Something like that. But so far, NoobMapMaker has been getting out some pretty good value out of the few combat units that he used, which, yeah, there were 2 yaks, basically. He should build more yaks and send them to the front lines to scout for his V2s to just shoot the infantry. Okay, Zoolys is also getting out his MCV now. He's probably, yeah, he's got 2 MCVs out. He's probably going to expand here, which is a risky move because the supply lines are easy to cut off if you just take away the choke points. If you just seal them off, like a mine layer, or with sneaking a bunch of mammoths in there, the transport. And most of the army is now focused right here. So basically his main base is undefended. He's going for a tech center now, but NoobMapMaker already has his Iron Curtain and his missile silo up, so he's really behind in the tech race. And that's such a smart positioning. Yeah, wow, he's force firing with his V2 rockets. Very nice. Those were some value shots. NoobMapMaker is probably scared of the air dominance for Zoolys, but so far 5 heights. That's not enough to crack a base, let's put it that way. And he's got his entire tech tree running, so the Iron Curtain is up. He could just curtain some flags and move them in and decimate the hinds, because they have the same speed. It's going for mammoth tanks now. He wants to break through. See, I guess he feels kind of locked into his own base now. Yeah. There go the curtained flags. How much damage are they gonna do? It's always a crapshoot. If Zoolys decides to move his hinds back, which he does. Oh, the hind crash. The hind crash. Taking out his own man. relentlessly. Slaughtering the infantry. Okay, and he managed to pull back, so no losses on his side. How's the combat looking? Yeah, 9,500 killed and 3,500 taken in damage. So NoobMapMaker has been really efficient. And that's also why the Iron Curtain rush strategy is so viable as Soviets, whereas rushing a Chronosphere as allies is not particularly viable. You can use it to chrono in some tanks into your meat grinder, but that's it. You shouldn't attack into this choke point, you should rather go for the V2. Oh, money shot! Beautiful, getting that one right off the bat. Pretty good. And he is enough to break through. Question is, does he know it? Because his scouting has been a bit lackluster. If he would just send in one of his yaks, he would realize that there is not much that Zoolys is going for him in this position. Oh, taking a direct hit from the V2. But the light tank survives for the time being. It's still the original light tank. It's kind of cute. But he's transitioned over to medium tanks now. Medium tanks and artillery, which is a way more solid team composition. The only thing light tanks are better at than medium tanks is... oh, those parabombs. The only thing light tanks are more efficient at is sniping V2s because they're faster. That's it, and they're still good against light armor. Here's the first paradrop. Is the paradrop gonna kill anything? The parabombs were completely wasted. The paradrop could still do some damage. Get a few harvesters. If he moves out of the way, lucky dodges. Nah. Now the artilleries are on target. Okay, getting the cleanup. Also, I heard Tanya... yeah, Miss Adams, there she is. Very good call. And the Mammoth tank is moving in to pick off one of the Hinds, probably? Or was it just a waypoint fail? Well, the waypoint fail transitioned into a waypoint success, as he managed to get the free Hind for himself. He's attacking into this, but Zoolys is a lot of mass now. And Tanya is there as well. Tanya wrecking the infantry squads. See, only one anti-airgun left. He should do something with his yaks, to be honest. Yeah, the focus fire is not good. No. This push is over. He should call it off. He's going to lose his mammoths. There is nothing to back him up. And without anything to back him up, they're just really, really durable meat shields. I mean, they still do a lot of damage, but not versus this much mass. It just gets slaughtered. Yeah, that was the first non-efficient trade for him. But, what do we have here? APCs fully loaded, probably with flamethrowers. I missed it, but it's most likely flamethrowers. And transports. This can only mean one thing. He's going for a base raid. Because he notices that Zoolys is trying to seal the choke points off and lock him into his own base. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take the way around. That's a really smart move. Let's see if it pays off. Zoolys has expanded to his natural now. But nothing is there yet. So NoobMapMaker could easily pick this off. No effort. A lot of artilleries now. He's doing a good job spreading out his Hinds. Because what most people will do is clump them in one part. He's just spreading them out for the vision. At the same time, though, he's not using them to inflict any damage or any bleed on the manpower, which would be smarter, as to me, because Zoolys is building up a steamrolling force here. There is not that much because NoobMapMaker has committed a lot into this sneak attack now. 2 APCs full of flamethrowers, like 4 or 5 V2 rockets, and a bunch of flags, no more. 6. Holy shit. It's not an all-in move, he's still got his backup eco, he's still got his base, but it's committing lots of resources into one spot. So I'm curious. Does he have the scout? Not yet, no. And Zoolys has no idea. Zoolys has no idea what's in store for him. He's probably even gonna take down the nuke if he manages to scout it. And it's halfway done, so that would be kind of really annoying. Oh, he was waiting for the curtain. Smart. And now Zoolys is gonna be panicking. It's gonna be like, oh, focusing the Conyard. That's fine. Conyard is down, so no more base defenses. Oh, we have to zoom in on this. He will get the refinery. He hasn't scouted the missile silo yet, so the missile silo is maybe gonna survive. Because Zoolys is pulling back everything he has. The Hinds are not on attack move. That's why you use attack move, guys. Oh, the Crasher still managed to take down most of the infantry. He's on low power now. There is still an APC full of flamethrowers. The 2 rockets are doing their due diligence. It's gonna get cleaned up because Zoolys is pulling back his entire strike force, like everything. Wow. But the damage has been done. And yeah, it was not cost efficient for NoobMapMaker, but it didn't have to be cost efficient because it destroyed a lot of his eco. I think he had 5 harvesters harvesting over here. Oh, and at the same time he's going for the yak strikes on the expansion. Really smart, really smart. So now the entire strike force is out of position for Zoolys, which is gonna pose a problem if he doesn't have much. Oh, however, there's an explanation for why he doesn't have much mass in armor. He was saving up for a demo truck, and I think this is gonna be the one mandatory demo truck of the match. It's where I've told this in an earlier cast. I've talked about this. If you're Ukraine, you're gonna go for 1 demo truck per match. You're gonna realize that the demo truck sucked and that the other player has defended it easily and it didn't do much damage. And then you're gonna switch your strategy back to heavy armor. Usually. That's how it usually works. I mean, if he manages to get it into this clump of infantry right there, this would be deadly. Demo truck up here, game over. But that doesn't usually happen. A promoted light tank. You don't see these very often. That's impressive. And some of the rocket soldiers are getting good promotions, which is really, really useful because it increases their speed by so much. Yeah, it's taking out the refinery. Smart move. You helped me all the pakken, lol. That's Dutch. They're both Dutch. The Iron Curtain, but the Iron Curtain was too far back. He fired it off prematurely. But he's coupling it with a nuke. Oh, nice. Getting so much infantry for his trouble. I'm probably gonna get the Conyard once the V2 is in range. Yep. Conyard down. At the same time. Ooh, money shot. The V2 money shots. There is still a bunch of clumped artillery. But what do we know about clumped artillery? Don't do that. Clumped artillery dies easily. A bunch of meds. He still has a service depot, that's important. So he can rebuild if need be. Yep. That's what flak tracks do to clumped artilleries. Another money shot by the V2 rocket. Beautiful. Nice defense. That was a really good defense. That was really cost effective. Oh, and the chain explosion's taking out all the artilleries. Here comes. Is that the demo truck? It's the demo truck of legends. And Zoolys doesn't have it on the radar. He has the GPS satellite, so he knows something's up, but if he's not paying attention, well, tough luck. That was disappointing. Meh. You know, and he fired it by himself, so it didn't blow up because it got destroyed. He chose to fire it there. That was not the best use of the demo truck. He could have run it into the army. Would have been way more useful, or killed the refinery. He has a paradrop there. And the paradrop managed to take out a bunch of harvesters. Oh yeah, getting the trades for the artillery. And Zoolys is kind of, yeah, his clock is ticking. Because NoobMapMaker has the better eco, he has more resources still left. And Zoolys is not mining from this base at the moment. He doesn't have a base there. He has a few structures but no MCV. And here come the base raids. The Yak's taking out the power. So I think NoobMapMaker is at a great advantage right now. He can pick off the MCV, the artilleries, and he's just gonna whittle him down. Nice pickoff. Losing one or two too many Yaks, but the second AA gun just came up. So the Yaks have a slow turn rate if you order them to move back. It's gonna out some mess. Here's the nuke, but the Iron Curtain is up for NoobMapMaker, and if he spots this, yeah, he does. So it's not gonna kill much. Gets the tech center and the radar dome and the Tesla coil. Doesn't even get the radar dome. Wow. So Iron Curtain, ladies and gentlemen. You have to save your nuke up for when the Iron Curtain is down. Otherwise, the Soviet player is just gonna curtain his own tech buildings, and there's not gonna be a whole lot that you're gonna do with your nuke. You're just gonna waste it, like Zoolys did here. One nuke to take out a tech center and a Tesla coil. That's so not worth it. Zoolys calling the GG, maybe a bit prematurely, but he is on the back foot. Echt dom gespeeld hier, ja. Goed zo kinderen. Excuse my Dutch. Neuken in the keuken. That's all I know in Dutch. Sorry to any Dutch viewers who I may or may not have offended right there. Oh well. So now NoobMapMaker gets control over the middle expansion, over the 5 ore mines and the massive amount of ore. Oh, another value rifle, this time for Zoolys. Civilian was tanking, like the brave hero that he is. Now the mammoth tank is rolling in. So good night, sweet prince. And Zoolys is pushed back. He knows that he's on the clock. He's against the ropes. What's he gonna go for? The next nuke is up in 4 minutes. So he still has a small window. But 4 minutes to make something happen, I don't know, man. Here is the MCV. That's kind of a waste of Yak ammo because he already had the mammoth tank there. But okay. Whatever floats your boat. And the Conyard going up. Now he's gonna get his production facilities to the front. His supply chain is just gonna be so much more efficient now that he gets his production structures up the front. Spy plane coming in. Has he spotted the nuke? He hasn't. He has no idea. He sees that there's a lot of artillery, so he's probably aware that he can't directly attack into this. But he doesn't need to, he just needs to wait for the curtain to come back up. Oh, speaking of which, curtain coming back up. Again, fired off a bit prematurely, I think. He could have moved forward, especially he could have moved across the fort. Taking out a few artilleries. 1, 2, 3. 3 artilleries. Another Iron Curtain has worn off. He should have pulled back in time. He's probably going to lose the heavy tanks as well. So that was a bad trade for NoobMapMaker actually. Surprisingly enough, he just didn't pull out in time. And then his units got stuck in the meat grinder. One ballsy artillery going for the snipes. The artilleries are completely undefended now, but that's one of the issues with how the allies work. That's why... Oh, parallel drop. He didn't go for the army. This could have been way better. Getting 1 AA gun and 1 gun turret. But yeah, as I was saying, this is one of the issues that newer players are having with playing against the allies. How they work is they do most of their damage with the artilleries. And newer players will come under artillery fire and be like, shit, I can't defend against this. Oh, getting a harvester, nice. Even though if you would run up close to the artilleries with a flak track or something, you would just kill them off instantly, and you would have effectively decimated the army. But newer players don't dare venture into the gunfire, and they're gonna be like, well, shit, I can't defend against artilleries. And that's why newer players tend to complain about artilleries and about allies so much, even though on a higher level of play right now, the Soviets are stronger. They have more versatility. And ironically enough, for being a brute force faction, the Soviets have the faster units, like the flak trucks or the V2s. Like comparing V2s to artilleries, that's not even there's no contest. And flak trucks are so useful. Plus, their tier 0 weapon factory units are so much stronger than the Allied counterparts. The Ranger is decent for the Allies because it has... Oh yeah, our curtain again. Because it has so much utility, but other than that, the light tanks are useless. And flak trucks are super useful, and so are APCs. Plus, APCs win a 1v1 duel versus light tanks, which makes no sense. Nice money shots by the V2s. Cleaning up so much mass. Pretty brutal. Tani got taken out. He's force firing. Oh no, Tani didn't get taken out. Sorry, she's there. Medics would actually be a smart choice right now, because most of the rifle infantry are wounded. More force fire coming out of the V2 rockets. He's going for Chronosphere. Interesting. Seeing that he's already really behind. What's the money looking like? 3k versus 8k. NoobMapMaker is not spending anything at the moment. Surprisingly enough. He's German. Oh. I was just about to talk about the advanced Chronosphere, but this could have been done with a regular Chronosphere as well. Getting the power down, that's very unlucky. Spies! Spies! He's going to spy lock the power, isn't he? And even if this one Conyard gets taken out, there is another one to back it up. The A-bomb is ready. The A-bomb is ready to fire, but he can't fire it because he's on low power mode. That was so clutch. My god. And he's perma spy locking the power. He could space out his spies more, because what he's doing now is he's over spy locking it. As you see the yellow bar, spies don't stack. So if you get more spies into a power plant, it's just gonna reset the spy timer. So it's not gonna help him. Wow, is this the turnaround? The AA gun is getting popped now, rendering all the yaks useless here. The turrets are taking out the radar dome. They've taken out all the high-tech structures. He's still perma spy locked. There is another spy. Hello, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die. Nope, made it in. More and more bunkers and gun turrets coming out. And once the Soviet barracks is taken care of, he can easily dispatch of the infantry. Oh my god. Perma spy lock. That is obnoxious. What does he have? He's trying to attack at the other front, but it's not going to be effective. The Allies have the nav set up. So he also knows about the MCV here. He knows about the transport. And at the same time, his base is getting picked apart by all those base defenses that Zoolys keeps pumping out. What about the money? Zoolys has turned the money situation. Oh, he's stolen so much money now. Sending a spy into your opponent's refinery takes out half of his money. And just earlier, NoobMapMaker was floating around 5k, I think. More and more spies getting pumped out. That's Germany, they're not cheap, but they paid for themselves by stealing at least 7,000 from the refineries. He doesn't even need to disguise them. Would be way smarter if he disguised them, but I don't think he has any infantry in his vision range right now. No, he doesn't. He also doesn't have any Hinds anymore, so he doesn't have spotters. Well, that's life. NoobMapMaker is out of power and so many spies. Just so many spies. This is so disgusting. And he can completely drain him of money. It's always gonna take 50% of the money that he has. So the first two spies effectively took 75% of Zoolys of NoobMapMaker's bank. The nuke is firing. He managed to get his nuke up. And nothing's gonna come of this. Ouch. Oh, frying some of his own spies. How many spies does he send in? This is like the entire MI6. Oh wait, it's Germany, he's not playing Britain. So it's the entire, well, whatchamacallit, GSG. Wow. Still spy locked, power still down, out of money. NoobMapMaker has to call it. What a fantastic comeback by Zoolys. Let's look at the stats. Really well played by both. NoobMapMaker had some really creative play with his demo truck, sending it over in the transport with his base raid in the early stages of the game. But Zoolys managed to come back just with a Chronosphere and 2 MCVs, pumping out base defenses and stealing. He was there at the perfect time. He locked the nuke right before it was about to launch, and he took all of the bank because NoobMapMaker had saved up an unfathomable bank of like 10k, and he took it out with 2 or 3 spies, and then he perma spy locked the power. Really fantastic play, really creative. I can see why people have recommended this to me. Let's see, let's look at the economy. Oh yeah. Zoolys at the end was floating 10k because he stole so much. So that just shows the power of spies. If you use them properly, because most people would just run them in and maybe lock the power and not do anything with it. But this was permalog. This was just NoobMapMaker had no way of no repercussions to this, because the Yaks were locked down with the AA gun. Yeah, and all of his army was out of position. That's the problem with the heavy Soviet armor. If it's out of position, it's not going to contribute to the fight at all. Let's look at the earnings. This is going to be a spike. Look at this spike. Look at this spike around minute 29. You see this? That's the spice. He took everything. Fantastic match. Thank you NoobMapMaker for posting this. It's been a hilarious game. Keep it up. And anything else? Yeah, I'm gonna be on stream again with Mr. So Scared on Monday. So check out his stream on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/SoScared. Anything else? Yeah. Well, I will inform you guys about the first Checkmate by Cheese episode once it's coming out. Other than that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and see you guys next time. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.